Dan Williams, Survive Outdoors. If you're new to the channel, we do wilderness medicine presentations on injuries, illnesses, what happens when you're in the outdoors and you get hurt, and prevention. We'll also do some gear reviews. And in, 189 subscribers, we get to 1,000, we are giving away a backpack and 2 more specialty items that you have to wait and see. First, second, and third place. And that's coming up with 1,000 subscribers, so stay tuned for that. Today we're going to be talking about allergic conjunctivitis. And if you have allergies and you're in the outdoors and your eyes get red, they get teary, they itch, you know how uncomfortable that is. And so what can you do to help prevent that and treat that on the trail? We're going to talk first, though, about antihistamines briefly, because if you're having allergic conjunctivitis, many times you're going to get allergic rhinitis, your nose is going to get swollen, and you're going to have redness and runny nose, and it's miserable, and then you'll start tearing. So antihistamines, there's 3 generations of antihistamines. First generation is the classic diphenhydramine. Those are very sedating, and then your second generation, Allegra, Zyrtec, Claritin, and then third generation are antihistamines like Xyzal, the one with the owl. Now, they did this first, second, and third generation as they go along because they wanted to create an antihistamine that worked very well and was not sedating. So if you look at the literature, it will say that Xyzal and your other third generation antihistamines are not that sedating, but anecdotally, with the patients that I've seen, the vast majority get very sedated on Xyzal. In fact, if you look at the commercial, it has the owl, and they're implanting that you basically should take that at nighttime. And I've actually carried Xyzal with me in my pack if I'm with a group, and that's important because sometimes I'll use that to help sedate someone if they get injured. That with some Tylenol and ibuprofen, it works really well, or you can use Benadryl. So you have the first generation, second, and third. We're going to get into more detail on that when we start talking about allergic rhinitis. Today we're going to stay focused on allergic conjunctivitis and how do you know you have it. So the first picture I'm going to show you is of a severe allergic conjunctivitis, and that is right here. And what you're going to see is the white part of this guy's eye is literally swollen. So there is a layer over the sclera, which is the white, and that is the conjunctiva, and you'll see this bubble on his eye, and it looks gross, and that is a classic allergic reaction. Now, some of the students I basically taught, they're going to sit there and go, you cannot have allergic conjunctivitis in one eye, and that's not true. For example, if you touch something with your hand and you inadvertently wipe your eye and you're allergic, you're going to get that in one eye. So that's not uncommon. But for the most part, when you have an allergic reaction to environmental pollen or mold, you're going to get it in both eyes. So what do you do with that? The 2 that I like to go with are Pataday and Xanador. Those are the top 2. Pataday is really nice because it's once a day. Xanador is twice a day. And I'm going to show you pictures of each one of those here. And I mean, my gosh, it's a little tiny bottle. I think it's 5 mLs. And it really takes up no space in your backpack. And you can't beat once a day drops. And you're not miserable. And you're not uncomfortable. And that works really well, along with an antihistamine, and you're set. You're good to go. Wouldn't advise antihistamine if you're doing some mountain climbing in the Tetons, but it's something to consider anywhere else. In situations that really get intense and severe, and you may not getting a relief really quick from using the eye drops, the antihistamine eye drops like Pataday, and usually you should notice those effects in about 15 to 30 minutes after putting the drops in. There is an anti-inflammatory drop that there's only one that I know of that you can get over the counter that's Accuril, and that one's right here. However, I don't really recommend that Then in severe cases, we go to a steroid, which you can't use anyway, that is prescription only. So the three tiers would be your antihistamine, your anti-inflammatory drops, and then your steroid drops. So the Pataday and Xanador, keep that in your pack, keep some antihistamines, and then if you, a cool washcloth, get a t-shirt, put some of your water, some cool water on that, lay it across your eyes. That's going to help with swelling. And that's really all you're going to need for allergic conjunctivitis. But I want to show you some photos of what is not allergic conjunctivitis, which is going to help you make that determination also. So this pic is a classic bacterial conjunctivitis. Get the green yellowish pus in the corner of your eye's red, it itches. And then this picture is a possible viral conjunctivitis. And how do you tell the difference? Well, it's really, really difficult, even for clinicians, to tell the difference between the two. Viral conjunctivitis is often after you start having cold symptoms, runny nose, classic common cold, and you get this red eye. Sometimes it can itch, and sometimes it may not, but it's irritating. Bacterial conjunctivitis, the classic pink eye, also accompanies things like strep throat, pneumonia, ear infections, very common. And then you get the matter, and it sticks to your eyelashes, and you got to, pry them suckers open in the morning and put some washcloth on it. So those are the three different pink eyes. There's actually a couple more, like chemical-induced pink eye, foreign body-induced conjunctivitis. We won't even get into those right now. I have an earlier video, in fact, I think it's the first video, on how to get foreign bodies out. I'm going to add that video at the end, so please check that out. So there it is, allergic conjunctivitis versus viral versus bacterial. Hope this keeps your eyes wide open and not red. Speaking of eyes, keep your eyes on the horizon, your face to the wind. Till next time.